Hello and welcome to Cara. My name is Jess, and today we're going to be going through a 30-minute yoga practice. You don't need anything for this particular practice, just your mat, and we'll begin. When you're ready, you can come into a kneeling position on your mat. If your knees are quite sensitive, you could always pop a blanket underneath them. And when you're ready, just sitting back onto the heels. Again, if this is a bit uncomfortable, you could pop a pillow or a bolster or maybe even a block underneath your sacrum. And when you're ready, you can find a nice tall spine. Roll the shoulders back and down. Soften the fingertips and close down the eyes. And just begin to arrive on your mat. Perhaps now noticing the inhales and exhales through the nose. And noticing the parts of the body that are in contact with the floor. And if right now you don't feel that comfortable here, maybe your ankle mobility just doesn't have quite the range that's necessary for this shape, then please don't feel as though you have to stay here. You can change position. Again, maybe you use the props to make it more comfortable, or maybe you just come and sit on the bum. Just find a seat that feels good for you so that we can breathe for the next few moments consciously and then move from there. We're going to practice equal breath. So we'll be inhaling for the count of 3 and exhaling for the count of 3. And you can keep your eyes closed for this. When you're ready, empty out the lungs. Take an inhale through the nostrils for the count of 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the nostrils, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again. And out. You can continue this for a few more rounds on your own. And finding a quality to your breath that you can sustain for the next 30 minutes. Let this be your last round. And when you're ready, blink open the eyes. We're going to take the hands down in front, coming into all fours. Slide your knees back and stack them underneath your hips. We're on the tops of the feet and the fingers are spread nice and wide. Find a soft bend in your elbows and then activate through the shoulders, push the ground away. Pull your lower belly in and up as you lengthen your lower spine. And then from here, we're going to tuck all 10 toes under. We're going to start with some knee lifts. So take an inhale. And as you exhale, hover your knees about an inch off the ground. We're really going to need to push the ground away to sustain this. And if you have delicate wrists and this is a bit much, you can always set the knees down, but just really imagine that you're lifting. Find a natural breath here. And then set the knees back down. Take an inhale, drop the belly, pull the heart through the arms into cow tilt. As you exhale, round the spine like an angry cat. Come back to a neutral position. We'll do that again. Toes are tucked under. Take an inhale. As you exhale, hover the knees an inch. Pull your lower belly in towards your spine. Push the ground away. Activate and lift up and out of the armpits. Hold. Breathe. And then when you're ready, set the knees back down. Inhale, belly drops, open up the heart, shoulders back. Exhale and round. Come via the center last time here. Push the ground away, inhale. Exhale, lift the knees. Breathe. And set them down. Lovely. You can sit the bum back onto the heels. Try to keep your toes tucked for this one. Walk the hands back. Maybe they stay on the mat or maybe they creep up onto the thighs. A little bit of a toe stretch here. And then we're going to take the hands and the arms out in front at shoulder height and begin to squeeze both hands into a fist and then extend the fingers nice and long. And squeeze and extend. And now keep going with that as if you're kind of flashing your hands or your fingers. Try to pick up the pace. Try to get a full range here with the extension of the fingers and the flexion of the fingers. And then take the hands up and overhead. Keep going. We're really trying to get the blood flow into the forearms, the hands, the wrists. Take your arms out to the side. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Bring the hands back down. Come off of the toes. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and maybe pitter-patter the feet. On your next inhale from a neutral spine, raise that right hand up towards the sky. Open the chest. As you exhale, thread the arm underneath the left. Let the right temple and the right ear come down onto the mat. And then take that left hand, walk it further up your mat, and try to square the left armpit down. Left hand comes back towards the shoulder, press into the mat. Right hand underneath the shoulder as well, all fours. We're going to take that to the other side. Inhale, left arm raises, open the chest. Then exhale, thread it through. Set the left temple down and breathe. Walk the right hand away and square the shoulders. Taking the right hand back towards the face, press into it, come back through all fours. From here, tuck all 10 toes under, lift the knees and lift the bum up and back for a brief downward facing dog, just so we can look towards the top of the mat and step the feet all the way there. Big toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Roll all the way up to standing. Sweep the hands out and up, look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Release the hands alongside the body. We're going to find chair pose. So bend the knees, sit the bum back, sweep the arms down to graze the ankles, and then reach them up towards the sky. Or for me, it's where the wall meets the ceiling. Neck is nice and long. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, forward fold, lengthen the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands slide up the shins. And then exhale, plant the hands or maybe bring them onto TPs if you need more space, so onto the tips of the fingers. And then shift the weight into that right foot. Bring the left heel into your bum like you're a flamingo. And then extend the left leg back. And then set the foot towards the back of the mat. So anticipate the landing. You can drop the knee down. And then bring the hands into a prayer position out in front. So you'll need a little bit of core strength here. And then inhale, sweep them up towards the sky. Bicep hugs the ears. Push back a little bit off of the bend or the deepness of the stretch, just so that you can lengthen the tailbone. Pull the hips up towards the ribs. And then begin to sink the hips forward. You might feel this a little bit more in your left quad, left hip flexor. Take an inhale. Exhale, both hands come down, frame the foot. Lift the back knee and step the back foot up to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Press through the feet, roll all the way to stand. Sweep the arms out and up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let them float alongside the body. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, chair pose. Graze the ankles and then sweep the hands up. Sitting back into your chair, can you think about pulling in through the very lowest part of your abdomen? And we do this to protect the lower spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders sliding into their sockets. Exhale, fold again, hands onto the mat, or maybe we come up onto the fingertips. Shift the weight into the left foot, right heel squeezes into the bum, extend it back. We're going to set it at the back of our mat, and then drop the knee down. Both arms reach out in front into prayer, press the palms together, and then inhale, lift up. Maybe you come back a little bit here from the stretch, just so that you can realign your hips, square them off, and then begin to resync and find that little low lunge position. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down, frame the left foot. Lift the back knee, step the right foot up to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root down into the feet as you rise up, one vertebrae at a time. Sweep the hands out and up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release the hands alongside the body. We'll sweep back into our chair pose. Sit down. Arms reach. Think about length here from the side of your hips all the way up towards the armpit, so your waist. A nice long torso. Option one is to stay here, or to make this a little bit more challenging and to strengthen your ankles, you can begin to shift into the balls of the feet, lift the heels. And here, really grip the mat with your toes. So your ankles might be wobbling all over the place as the micro muscles in your feet try to stabilize. But think about magnetizing the heels together. Take an inhale. Exhale, set the heels down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Kick that left heel into the bum, extend it back behind you, and then set the foot down. Nice. From here, take the right hand inside the right foot, and then wiggle that right foot off to the right hand side for lizard. The toe points a little bit out and the heel points in. Engage that back kneecap. Squeeze the back glute. Press the mat away with your hands. And then inhale, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Exhale and land here, opening through the chest, maybe gazing up at the top thumb. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring that right hand back down. From here, we're going to step that back foot up outside the left hand for a squat. So slowly step it up. Knees are pointing out, toes are pointing out, and then we're going to brace ourselves on the thighs. So both elbows or both forearms are going to come onto the thighs. The backs of the legs are parallel with the floor, so the bum is quite low here, and the spine is really long. Take 2 more breaths. And then slowly begin to extend the legs as you fold forward, hands touch the ground. Heel toe the feet, in underneath the hips, maybe even the toes come together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Press into the feet, rise all the way up. Sweep up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release them alongside the body. Let's sit into our chair, breathing in. And exhale to land here. Pause. I'm going to practice coming up onto the balls of the feet again. If it's too much, then you can always just keep the heels down and stay here, breathing. But if you're coming with me, then shift the weight forward as you lift the heels. Really think about gluing those ankle bones together. fanning wide through the toes as you grip the mat. Pull the lower belly in. If your arms are kind of falling down towards the ground or coming closer every time we come into this chair, see if you can reach them up, biceps hugging the ears. Breathe in. Exhale, lower the heels down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. This time the right foot's coming into the bum. Extend it back. Nice controlled movement here as you set the foot down. Left hand inside of left foot, lizard. So the left toe is pointing out, heel is slightly in. Press the mat away. Lift and engage that back kneecap up and away from the floor. And squeeze the back right glute. And as you push the ground away here, try not to round your spine, but still find length through the middle to upper back. When you're ready, inhale, reach that left hand up towards the sky. Open as you breathe out and land here in this nice open twist. As you exhale, left hand comes back down, back onto the floor, and then we're going to find that squat again. So as if your back foot was on a springboard, we're going to step it up and outside of the right hand. Brace the forearms or the elbows on the thighs as you sit the bum down. Find this half squat. It's quite nice to touch the fingertips together here. If you feel like this is quite easy, then you can make it more challenging by reaching the hands forward and still holding that kind of parallel to the floor squat shape. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Heel toe the feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Press through the feet, rise all the way up. Sweep out and up, look up. Exhale, hands return to center. Lovely. Take a moment here, release the hands alongside the body and pause in your Tadasana. Come back to your breath if you've lost it. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Now when you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. Palms are touching. Shift the weight into the right foot, soft bend in the right knee, and really try to activate through that right glute. So press your foot through the floor. Inhale, the left heel is going to come close to the bum. I like to flex my foot here, but you can point it if you'd like. Then we're going to extend it back behind us, anticipate the landing as you step the left foot to the back of the mat and find high lunge. Arms reaching up towards the sky. You can keep the hands in prayer or you can separate them if it's a bit too much on the shoulders. And then bend a little bit through that back knee so that we can square off the hips. And what I mean by that is, if you can imagine your pelvis kind of like a flower pot. And so we kind of want to keep that flower pot stable. We don't want to tilt it too forward and have all the stuff fall out, nor do we want to tilt it backwards. So it's nice and stable. Lower belly is pulling in. Press through that front heel, and we have a deep bend in the front knee as well. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to come into warrior two. So opening up to the left hand side, arms to shoulder height. As you pivot on that back foot, press the back edge of the foot into the mat. And then the front knee stays relatively the same in that high lunge position. And let's gaze over the front middle finger. There's a tendency here to lean the torso forward, but try to pull it back. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Squeeze the glutes to open up the front of the hips. When I say squeeze, maybe like activating 40%. Nothing too crazy. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, windmill the hands down inside of the right foot as you walk that right foot out to lizard once again. Lovely. Set that back knee down, untuck the toes, and then we're going to inhale, reach that right hand up towards the sky, and then we're going to go for a quad stretch, so reaching those right fingertips towards the very back of our mat, and then seeing if we can bend that left knee and bringing the foot closer to the bum or the hand. If you can't reach your foot with your hand, don't worry about it. Just bringing that foot closer and off of the mat is enough. So over time, the more you practice, eventually you'll get the shape. But don't worry about it for now if you can't. One more breath. And then exhale, right hand is going to come down. Lovely. Pick that back knee up. And then we're going to step that right foot back to meet the left for downward facing dog. Just spending a second here. Maybe you'd like to pedal out your feet, walking your dog. Spread the fingers wide, press the mat away. Inhale, expand through the upper part of your rib cage. And exhale, pull the lower rib cage and the belly in. And then look forward as you walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Press through the feet, rise all the way up. Sweep up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. I'm going to take that now into the other side. So keeping the hands at the heart, shift the weight into the left foot. Press the outer edge of the left foot into the mat as you grip the mat with your toes. Lift and engage left kneecap. Activate left glute by pressing more down into the heel, and then the right heel draws in towards the glute. It's extended back as you anticipate that landing. Set it towards the back of your mat and find high lunge, both arms reaching up towards the sky. Again, maybe the hands are in prayer or maybe they're separated, shoulders distance. Soft bend in the back knee. Now it's always easier to set yourself up on the second hand side, or the second side, because you've heard all the little cues already. So bending into that front knee, kicking through the heel, lengthening the tailbone, pulling your lower belly in and up. Breathe. Take one more inhale. We come into that lovely warrior two as you exhale. Slow pivot on the back foot. Press the knife edge of the foot into the mat. Arms shoulder height, gazing over front middle finger. Again, lean the shoulders back so they're stacked over the hips. Bend into that front knee. And what I didn't mention on the other side is with that front knee, just make sure it's tracking towards the pinky side edge of the front foot. So if you were to look down, you could still see your big toe. Take another inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out to the side of your mat, lizard lunge. We can set that back knee down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, left hand reaches up towards the sky, opening through the chest. You're going to find that quad stretch as you reach those left fingers towards the very, very back of your mat. What helps here as well is maybe coming up onto the fingertips or using a yoga block underneath the hand if you have one. When you're ready, bend into that back knee, bringing the heel close to the bum, maybe catching the heel with your hand or the foot with your hand. And for me, I can do it on one side, but I can't do it on the other. And I am okay with that, because I can still feel it. When you're ready, take an exhale, set the back foot down. Slowly take that left hand back underneath the left shoulder. Lift that back kneecap. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. Here again, you can choose to move or you can find some stillness in your downward dog. Find your breath here. If you need to really rest, you can always drop the knees down and find child's pose. We just have a little bit more to go, and then we're going to wind down. So when you're ready, looking forward, let's step the feet all the way to the top of the mat. No rush getting there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press through the feet, roll all the way up. Sweep up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now keeping the hands together, let's shift the weight back into that right foot. And then we're going to come onto the left toes and then turn all the left toes to face towards the left-hand side of the mat, opening up the knee and the hip. And then placing that left heel on the inside of the right ankle. Now this might be where we stay. Or if you want to challenge your balance, again, activate fully through that right leg and then bring the sole of the left foot just up and under the left knee. So on the inside of the right calf muscle. You might stay there. You might lift it higher above the knee, just making sure that we're not on the knee. Or you might reach down with the left hand, grab the ankle, and draw it all the way up and in towards the right groin. Wherever you are, especially if you have the foot off the ground, press the inseam of the right leg into the sole of the left foot. So you're kind of using opposing forces here, pressing off of each other and creating this tension through the body or this activation. Hands are at prayer, lower belly's pulling in, spine is nice and long, including through the back of the neck. And you can gaze down and over the tip of your nose or at something out in front that isn't moving. And just breathe. If you're wobbling all over the place, that is no problem. This becomes easier with time. And in saying that, if your foot is closer to the ground, no problem. We start somewhere here and then slowly we work our way towards more challenging options. That's only if the first one becomes too easy. Take 2 more breaths here, maybe 3. This is the pose that we have been working towards, so we'll sustain it for a little bit longer. And when you're ready with your exhale, you can soften that foot back down. Maybe kind of walk out the feet a little bit. And we will come right into the other side. So palms can stay out in front. Press through the left heel, activate through the left leg, and then the right, coming up onto the right toes. Turn them out, turn the knee out. Right heel is on the inside of the left ankle. And then again, choose your position. Maybe it's different to the first side, that's okay. Either low down on the leg or a little bit higher up. The only thing we want to make sure of is that we're not pushing the foot onto the knee joint. Again, magnetize through the legs, so create that opposing force. Inside of the leg is pushing into the foot, and the foot is pushing into the inside of the leg. This will help to activate a little bit through the glutes. And then after that, just begin to draw in and up through the lower belly. Find something to stare at or gaze softly out over the nose. Breathe. These balance poses are very good for the mind. So with all of this stuff that you have to focus on in order to sustain this shape and breathe, it's kind of difficult, or at least you're making it more difficult for your mind to wander off into the past or the future or any kind of thing that isn't really happening now, but maybe you're worried about. And so the more you practice, the easier it gets to focus your mind. Take 2 more breaths. With this next exhale, you can lower the foot back down. And then from here, release both hands. Take a nice big breath in as you sweep the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to stay here just dangling over the legs. Soft bend in the knees. Let your head be really heavy, especially the space where the bottom of the skull meets the nape of your neck. Maybe you grab onto opposite elbow. Find a soft sway from side to side, or a gentle shake of the head, yes and no. Breathe into the belly and the lungs. And breathe out, pull the belly in and feel that lower back stretch. as you let gravity take you further down. And then when you're ready, you can inhale, come up onto the fingertips. Then we're going to take the feet wide into our kind of deepest variation of our yogic squat, malasana. We'll come all the way down. And then we're going to try and let the bum really soften down. So for some of us, the heels are going to be up. For some of us, the heels will be down. For some of us, we won't get very far at all. And we might pop something underneath the bum so that we can sit on it. Or we might just come to the place of this stretch where it feels like you're really opening up through the hips, and that's fine. Just stay there and breathe. And when you're ready, in any way that feels good, we're going to come down onto the bum. Bring the feet out in front. Lovely. And then we're going to take the same kind of shape with the legs. So sole of the right foot into the inseam of the left leg. We'll bring it nice and high now for everyone. And then inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and think about bringing your chest towards your toes for a forward fold. And those toes are coming back towards the face as we flex the foot. Breathe into the back of the body. Breathe out and soften and melt. One more. And when you're ready, come all the way up. We're going to pick up that right foot, set it outside of the left leg. And then we're going to take that left hand and hug the right knee in towards your chest as the right hand comes back behind you and you find a little twist. You can gaze in the direction of where the right hip is, or you can maybe take your gaze over the right shoulder. This will look a little bit different for all of us. And that is okay. Take the head back through center first, and then release the arm, release the leg, send it out long. Other side, left foot inside of right thigh. And when you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale, chest down towards the toes. Fold over the leg. Soften the chin towards the chest and breathe. One more. When you're ready, slowly come back up. Let's find that twist on the other side, picking up the left foot, setting it outside of the right thigh. Right hand reaches in front of the left knee, and we hug that knee in as you take the left hand back behind you. Maybe the gaze comes back as well. Breathe into the belly here. As you exhale, pull the belly in as if you're kind of wringing out your digestive system. Massaging your inner organs. And then bring the head through center, release and unravel. And we're going to take ourselves all the way down now onto our back for a brief Shavasana, also known as corpse pose, also known as lying down on your mat. Take your feet as wide as the corners of your mat and let them flop out towards the side. Backs of the hands on the mat, arms alongside the body, palms facing up, shoulders drawing down, head is heavy. Take one last big breath in here. Open your mouth and exhale. And let your body melt and sink here and just absorb everything that it's done, creating a little bit of muscle memory for the next time that you step on here. If you have time, I encourage you to stay longer. But if you're finishing up now and coming with me, we're going to extend the arms up and overhead, find a full stretch, and then roll onto your side, bending the knees, and then pressing through that hand, coming back up to a seated position. Let's cross the ankles, hands are atop the knees, close down the eyes, nice tall spine. We just have one final minute here in a very brief meditation. I'm sure you have a minute to spare. So closing down the eyes, softening the shoulders. Breathe in and out through the nose and see if you can place your awareness on your breath. Just for the next minute. Bring both palms to the center of your chest to touch. Maybe bow the head in honor of this practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.